Hello, artists. This week, we just need a piece of white paper, some crayons or markers, and a pencil to get started. We're going to do some animal guided drawings in the rainforest. And today we're going to try a toucan. So here's the step-by-step of what we're going to do, but I'll break it down for you one step at a time. All right, artists, I have a piece of just white printer paper or copy paper. And so the first thing I want to do with that is I'm going to fold it into 4 parts because that's going to help me balance my picture. So I fold it in half like I'm making a card. And then once I have it that way, I just kind of fold it down. I'm doing that because the artist who did our draw along for us, they divided theirs into 4 equal sections. And most artists do that. That way your picture can be center and your toucan can be the right size. Okay, so we're going to take that little image in the top corner of our picture here and we're going to make it a little bit larger. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the branch. And you'll notice that the branch is going to go through the bottom 2 sections. Okay, so we have that branch going across the bottom. So let's try drawing that branch together. Anytime the artist wants us to draw with them, they're doing red lines. So we want to make sure that we start in the bottom 2 boxes for our branch. And we have to give it a little thickness or depth. It can get thinner as we go across the page. I drew mine in pencil, so it might be tricky to see. So let me see if I need, I'm going to go over it in marker just to make it easier for you guys to see at home. So I'll go over that with a quick black marker here. And this is just so that you get your branch. Now, the best part of doing it in pencil is that if you mess up the line, you can go back through and you can fix that, right? So I have my branch. Now I'm going to put the back of my toucan, and notice how it's centered. So we're going to look where our page makes that, the center of our page makes that cross in the middle, right? So I'm going to go right to the middle, and it goes up really high. So our line's going to start here, and it looks like it starts over in this quadrant. So we start here, and we go down, okay? So let's try that line. And that's just the side, one side of our toucan, right? And the other one, we want to come over here and we want to go up a little bit to make the belly of it. Now it curves in because the beak is going to curve out. So we want to go up and in, but leave room for that really large toucan beak, right? So we get our belly curved up and in. And now we're going to make that really long toucan beak, and it's going to probably fill this whole quadrant over here, okay? So they're saying to go all the way out and across, all the way to the edge, hook it down, come up a little bit, and go all the way back in. So it looks like this. Now, I missed one step. If you see in the draw along, she has her beak and her face divided. So there we go. Now I have my beak and my face divided, okay? Now we're going to put stripes on our beak and give our beak an opening. So we're going to have some lines here going, looks like the letter V, a couple letter V's there. And then have it so it can open up. Oh, cool. All right, so like that. And kind of looks like a tiger's tail. There's no wrong way to do this. It's your toucan. So if you want to have them come straight down, you can have them come straight down. Now we're going to add the eye. And notice how her eye is, it's 2 circles, right? So we have a larger circle and a smaller circle inside. So you can actually make a 3rd circle if you want the reflection. I'm going to make 3 circles. So really big circle, a little bit smaller, and then a teeny tiny circle. Okay. Now it looks like it's time to make the outline of the face and make our talons or our feet and our tail feathers coming down. So outline the face. And it's just kind of literally going to make a shape around the face. You're kind of making a C or a backward C there. Then you're going to make your feet on top of the branch and your tail feather below. Okay, so your talons or your feet on the top. And then your tail feather coming off below. Okay, talons or feet, which you can do with a couple letter W's, and then you go across the top, and then you do your tail feather below. Okay, now your tree needs some branches. You need some leaves. Remember, we do that with the letter Y. So we're going to build out from behind our toucan, our bird. They're adding a bunch of leaves because we want it to look like it's a really busy emergent tree, right? So I added my letter Y coming out over there, and then I'm putting some leaves in it. See them all over here? Now I'm going to put a whole bunch of leaves in the bottom as well. Now this week when we focus on coloring, I'm going to put a little color wheel refresher course for us because we talked about color wheels at the very beginning of the year, but we're going to talk about them again in terms of shading here so that when we go to color, we can darken different sides and really focus on the light and the dark here and our tones. So once we have all of our leaves in here and it's time to color, you're going to put your pencil away. If you'd like to outline like I did in marker, if you'd like to outline so you have a bold outline in there, you can do that now. And I'm going to be coloring with crayons today. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get all my crayons laid out. And while I'm doing that, we're going to take a little peek at color wheel how to. All right, so take a look at this part of our video. Okay, real quick reminders on the color wheel, guys. So the color wheel are all the colors that we have, but our three primary colors are yellow, blue, and red. So those three primary colors, yellow, blue, and red, they can be combined together to make our secondary colors. So if you put red and yellow together, you're going to get orange, which is the secondary color. Now on our color wheel here, we have tones or shades of them. So lighter or darker by how much red we mix with it or how much yellow. So this is a secondary color. Now, our yellow mixed with blue is going to give us green. But again, if we add more yellow to it, we're going to have a light green. If we have more blue to it, we're going to have a light blue or a blue-green. Now, blue and red make purple. Pink technically is made from red and white getting mixed together, but you can put more red with your blue and you can get kind of a scarlet color, right? You can get that red-violet. Now, blue mixed with purple is going to give you an indigo or a deeper richer purple color. Now, you also want to mix these with them as well. So your grays, your browns, your tans, your neutrals, when you mix those, they also indicate which way the tone's going. To complement and naturally do that, you look straight across. So if you want to make a natural brown or you want to make a darker shade and you're doing a lot of green in your rainforest, instead of getting out your brown, go straight across and you'll see you need to get out your red to do that. So today I'm going to use my red to make my green darker. And then when I want to make my yellow darker, I'm going to use my purple. So we go straight across. When I want to make my blue or my orange change to darker, I'm going to use those with each other. Those are called complementary colors. They go really well together to make shading. So that's your quick refresher course on the color wheel. Remember, we want to use lots of colors and we want to layer them together so it looks realistic. So back to your coloring. Can't wait to see your toucans. And voila! I used green and blue in my background. I used light green, yellow, and dark green on my leaves. I went and did dash lines and then used a yellow and a brown on my branches. I used a solid black, but then went over it with gray on my actual toucan and his tail feathers. And then for the beak, I used a lot of different of my warm colors, but I used a yellow base and went over it with red and purple and pink. And then I used a little tan for the lower, or brown, sorry, for the lower part of his beak. And I used just a hint of orange at the very tip by the black of his beak. And I gave him a green eye to look at me. So these are the colors I picked for my toucan. So I can't wait to see what you did with yours. And next week we'll do another draw along in the rainforest because we need a whole portfolio of our animals wherever we go. I can't wait to draw more with you next week. Bye, artists.